Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sulbha Vasnik from DGPCIT Nagpur, and today we have discussed about the subject training and development. In that we have discussed some topics that is included in training and development. Now start with management development. So we have start with system techniques of management development. In that it's having two methods, one is on the job method and another one is off the job method. So in on the job method, first point is coaching. Coaching means it is a method which is used in developing managerial thinking process as well as operative skills. The superior plays the role of the guide and the instructor. Usually agreed goals, what need to be done is also highlighted. The way to get things done is also indicated in clear terms. Suggestions for getting everything on track are also advanced. Every attempt is made to put the training on track, correcting mistakes all along the path. The trainer helps the trainee live up to those goals through periodic reviews of the trainee's progress and by suggesting modifications in his behavior where needed. So here some advantages and disadvantages of coaching method. So first one is periodic feedback and evaluation are also a part of coaching, which yields immediate benefit to an organization, to the coach and to the subordinate. It is learning by doing. Clear. Second advantage, like it requires the least centralized staff coordination. For every executive can coach his men even if no management development program exists. Third one is new executives can undergo orientation and embed the culture of an organization quickly. Coaching helps new hires to put their best foot forward with courage and confidence. Fourth one is the coaching technique is authorization or authoritarian. For an executive tends to familiarize his subordinates with his own work habits and beliefs. Even though this may be faulty, in other words, it has the tendencies to perpetuate the current managerial styles and practices in the organization. It heavily relies on the coach's ability to be good teacher, which he may not necessarily be. The training atmosphere free from worries of the daily duties is not available. He should avoid being too dominant in the performance process so that the trainee can experience things for himself and does not become completely dependent upon the coach for decisions. Coaching will work well if the coach provides a good model with whom the trainee can identify. If both can be open with each other, if the coach accepts his responsibility fully, and if he provides the trainee with recognition of his improvement and suitable rewards. Clear? So this is all about the point of coaching. Next one is understudy. So the word understudy means it's a method of on the job method, that is understudy. An understudy is a person who is under training to assume at a future time the full duties and responsibilities of the position currently held by his superior. In this way, it is ensured that a fully trained person is available to replace a manager during his long absence or illness or on his retirement, transfer or promotion. An understudy may be picked up by a manager from amongst a large number of subordinates or several individuals. Such an understudy learns the complexities of the problems and how to solve them, learns also the process of decision making and investigation and making written recommendation to his superior. He is generally assigned a project which is closely related to the work in his section. He is deputed to attend executive meetings as a representative of his superior, at which he makes a presentation and proposals. The essence is that the senior routes much of the departmental work through the junior, discusses problems with him and allow him to participate in the decision making process as often as possible. So first advantages and disadvantages of understudy method. First one is it is a practical and quick in training persons for greater responsibility, for it lays emphasis on learning by doing. Clear? The learner's interest and motivation are high and the superior is relieved of his heavy workload. Third one is the training manager is also not overburdened with work and responsibility. At the same time, he secures full participation in the running of the function and insight into the job content. The trainee is able continuously to obtain guidance of the senior. The work that passes through him opens up windows for him to appreciate different angles and viewpoints related to the job. He receives an opportunity to see the job in total. It ensures continuity of management facilities even when the superior leaves position. His position. The chances of costly mistakes or upsetting relationship within the group are eliminated. This is an advantage disadvantages of understudy. Since the understudy is a pickup by the superior often on the basis of favoritism, he tends to perpetuate the existing practices of inbreeding. The motivation of all the employees in the unit may decrease since the incentives to get ahead is partially destroyed when one particular subordinate is identified in advance as one who will be the next occupant of a higher level managerial position. Under a competent senior, the junior trainee might lose his independence and his critical appraisal of the way of job is performed. Now, third one is multiple management method. Multiple management method means it is a technique whereby juniors are assigned to board or committees by the chief executive. They are asked to participate in deliberations of these boards and committees. In these sessions, real life actual problems are discussed. Different views are debated and decisions are taken. The juniors get an opportunity to share in managerial decision making, to learn by watching others, and to delve into specific organizational problems. When committees are of ad hoc or temporary nature, they often take a task force activities designed to delve into a particular problem, a certain alternative solution, and make a recommendation for implementing a solution. These temporary assignments can be both interesting and rewarding to the employees growth. On the other hand, appointment to permanent committees increases the employee's exposure to other members of the organization, broadens his understanding, and gives him an opportunity to grow and make recommendations under the scrutiny of other committee members. So this is all about multiple management. Now, project assignment also is there. So in this method, a trainee is put on a project closely related to the objectives of his department. For example, a new recruit in a property valuation firm may be asked to do a small project reviewing the prospects of selling commercial space in satellite townships like Gurgaon, Faridabad, Mansehar and Ghaziabad near Delhi. The project will give a first-hand experience of the problems and prospect in space selling to the new recruit. Sometimes a syndicate or a team consisting of a person of mature judgment and proven talent may also be created temporarily to work on a special assignment. The purpose is the participant to a milieu in which he is persuaded into reflecting upon his experiences as an executive, updating his knowledge, improving his executive skills, and developing a greater insight into human behavior. In other words, this method enables an executive to acquire a proper perspective on his job in relation to the activities in areas other than his own, and to give him practice in skills, techniques, and procedures which he has to use in his day to day work as he rises higher up the ladder of management. By this method, a team of persons of mature judgment and proved ability is set up with different functional representation so that there is an interchange of ideas and experiences. The syndicate is given a task properly spelled out in terms of briefs and background papers. Large groups are split into small ones and discussion are supplemented by short lectures. Now last one is committee assignment. Committee assignment, in this method an ad hoc committee is appointed to discuss, evaluate and offer suggestions relating to an important aspect of a business. For example, a group of experts may be asked to look into the feasibility of developing a software technology park in an upcoming area by the Delhi Development Authority. The different viewpoints and learn opinions of members find meaningful expression if meetings are conducted in a proper manner, giving opportunity to every member to come forward with constructive suggestions from time to time. The committee assignment could prove to be a valuable tool to develop interpersonal skills as well if members know how to get along with each other. However, when things go out of hand because of emotion and tempers, taking charge of committee meetings, the assignments, and committee meetings assignment could prove to be a notorious time waster. Not without reason, someone has commented that a committee is a group of unfits engaged by the unwilling to do the unnecessary. So this is all about committee assignment, and 4 points is completed in the on the job method. This is all about on the job method. Now in next video we discuss about the off the job method. So I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.